afternoon, Toastmaster, easy speakers, and guests. She had a dream. For one moment, just imagine an old, run-down apartment complex that may have been an old motel at one time. In the middle of a neighborhood, it was like a community within a lower class neighborhood. Look up to the windows. There were no blinds, no curtains. Looked like what appeared to be sheets up to the windows. You look on the balconies, there were articles of clothing hanging everywhere. When you look down at the ground was very unkept. The parking stalls had broke down cars in them, but it appeared that someone was working on them. And there was a landlord who we call Mr. Slumlord, because all he really wanted was his rent on time. He didn't care nothing about the families that lived there, the bugs that just invaded the properties. All he wanted was his rent. And you just imagine, can you see that? The families that lived there, was one family in particular. It was a mom who was single. She had one daughter and two boys. The older of the boys was in and out of juvenile detention center. The girl is one that struck my eye. The mom did the best that she could do at the time, being on, when she wasn't on some kind of substance. She did her best by just providing a roof so they could lay down and lay their heads at night. Most of the time there was no food, no electricity off, and very little else. In the neighborhood, they also had a church. The church, they had Sunday school and Bible study. They had a bus where they would pick the kids up and take them to Sunday school. And the daughter, she often went. That was the mom's way of getting rid of her for a few minutes, for a little while. And also, I believe it was a joy for the daughter to be away from home also. By her being a girl, she had it extra hard. So the mom, she ended up continuously living in the wrong lane. She ended up in jail. The kids ended up with their fathers for a little while. And then when the mom got out of jail, she went right back and got her kids. And let me tell you, she ended up in that same apartment building. Now that says a lot right there. But then the kids were, if you look at the little girl, you would never even know that just by looking at her that she had a difficult life or was going through anything, because she always had a little smile. She had pretty round brown eyes. And if I tell you, I don't know how the kids went through what they went through. They went through some things, on the whole drug scene. It was like foot traffic in and out. It was a real trouble spot. And those kids went through something that no kid should ever have to see, let alone go through. So by the mom continuously living in the wrong lane, she ended up in jail for a while. So at this time, the kids ended up in their father's custody, because the mom and the father had been separated. And before, they were in the mom's custody. So now they're in the father's custody, who he does the best that he can, taking care of them, even though he had suffered a stroke. but he had a more stable environment for them to live in. He did the best that he could, and his father was helping him, his grandpa was helping him until he passed away. So then I remember hearing something about the kids had graduated high school, and I was just so elated that they made it that far, going through what they had been through. And after that, I kind of like lost track of them, and I often wondered what happened to them. And the other day, I was looking on my daughter's phone, and there was a quote, and I said, let me see that, and it was from that same little girl. And on her quote, she says, "As I walk across the stage today," she said, "I am thankful to God, because no one but Him could have brought me this far, to this point. I come from nothing to sacrifice everything to stand in my position. My counselor in my first semester of college told me I needed to change my career plan because my grades weren't good enough to get me into nursing school. So I joined the military as a medic and worked twice as hard to get amazing grades in my remaining prereq courses. Once I got accepted into nursing school, I separated from the military. My commander's last words were, 'You'll be back.' It was very discouraging. And there were times along the way I thought she was right. I am forever grateful for all that the military taught me and its contribution to my education. I am prepared to take the next step in my life as a nurse. Dreams do come true. Thanks to all my family and friends for support. I love y'all." And when I think back of the trials and tribulations that she went through, she stayed focused, she gripped her goal, and her dream did come true. And I believe she's an inspiration to all children who are going through a difficult situation, because they can dream and their dreams can come true too. Thank you.